Welcome to day 2. I hope you got a lot out of yesterday and learned a lot about mortgages and saw some good deals. We will be bringing you some more good deals later on in the next 2 days. So today I'd like to introduce Ricardo. Ricardo is our recommended lawyer and he's going to talk about Golden Visa for you today. Hi Ricardo.
Hello everyone, my name is Ricardo. I'm a lawyer since 2002 and with office in Lisbon and also in Algarve in Almacil. And I work in the real estate market since 2004.
Okay. And what is the Golden Visa? What's it there for?
The Golden Visa is basically a program that the Portuguese government created in 2012 to attract investment to Portugal. Basically, clients that want to have access to the Schengen area and also the Portuguese citizenship, they can invest in real estate markets and get the Golden Visa. The criteria is investment in 500,000 property, could be more than one property, doesn't need to be just one, or 350 in a property that have more than 30 years old and needs to be renovated. If we move to a low density area, the requirement reducing 20%. So the 500,000 on a low density area it's 400,000 and the 350 it's 280. Okay. Basically, the client buy the properties. Once they have the ownership of the property, we need to collect a couple of documents from the person itself and from the property and apply for the Golden Visa. Once the Golden Visa is approved, the client needs to come to Portugal to collect the biometric data and pay the normal government fees. And after that, probably around 6 to 7 months, they will get the card, the visa. Once they have the visa, the Golden Visa, they can travel around the Schengen area without needing an extra visa. And on the 6th year, they can apply for Portuguese citizenship. Okay. Regarding the other option, the 350 or 280 in a low density area, the property needs to have more than 30 years old and the client needs to buy the property and then renovate the property. So between the purchase price and the renovation, at least 350 or 280 on the low density area. And that means that the client also needs to have a building contract. So the buying the property and then have a builder with a building contract, and between two amounts, at least the minimum 350 or 280. With the Golden Visa, the clients also can have the visa for their family, spouse, and the kids, and the daughter and sons, and also mother and father, if they depend on economically on the first applicant. Okay, so basically the first applicant can also apply for the Golden Visa for their wife and husband and their daughters or sons and daughters.
And low density area, Algarve's now classed as a low density area?
Yes, the whole Algarve still consider low density areas, despite that some city councils have more than 100 inhabitants per square kilometers, which is the criteria. It's when a certain area have more than 100 inhabitants per square kilometers, it's considered high density area. So even that some city councils in the Algarve or municipalities have more than 100 inhabitants per square kilometer, the CEF, the entity that issued the Golden Visa, still considered as a low density area.
So that could change if the population grew. It could change, but at the moment.
At the moment, still considered low density area. Yeah.
Okay. So basically, the Golden Visas for people who live out of Europe, to give them access to be able to travel freely and
get
enjoy
the citizenship.
Yeah, and so it's very popular at the moment, and we have noticed that people are coming more to the Algarve because it's a low density area and they don't have to spend quite as much.
So basically, the clients with the Golden Visa, they need to stay in Portugal at least 7 days on the first year and 14 days on the following years. We have 2 renovations on the first year and on the third year. Basically, the renovations, we need to prove again that the clients still maintain the ownership of the property.
And we have a lot of people tend to buy something that they can rent out for the 5 years, so that will manage it and rent it out for them, and so that while they obtain the Golden Visa, they're still getting an income on that property. And then at the end of it, choose whether they want to remain in that property, sell it, and buy something more suitable to live in, or whatever they decide to do. But it tends to be that you can actually make money within that 5-year period.
And they can have more than one.
Ricardo, would you like to tell us about the buying process, please?
Okay, so the buying process in Portugal basically have 3 different stages: the offer and reservation agreement, the promissory contract, and the final deed. The offer and reservation agreement, basically it's a gentleman agreement between the buyer and the seller to take the property out of the market and give some time to do the due diligence on the property and also on the seller. There's a reservation fee that stays in the escrow account, and it's totally refundable until we sign the promissory contract. Okay. Assuming that everything is in order with the legal documents of the property and also the seller, we need to produce a promissory contract. The promissory contract basically set up all the terms of the deal. So the purchase price, the completion date, any extras, any extra agreement that the buyer and the seller have, we need to include that on the promissory contract, because once we sign the promissory contract, it's when we are legally binding to the deal. Okay? That means that if the buyer wants to cancel, legally the seller can keep the deposit. If the seller wants to cancel, he needs to give you the double of the deposit to the buyer. Once after the promissory contract, the final step, it's the deed. It's when the buyer needs to pay the balance and also all the closing costs, and it's also when he gets the ownership of the property. Once we sign the deed and pay the taxes and the balance to the seller, we register the property in the name of the new buyer with the deed at the land registry office. So basically this is the 3 stages of the buying process. The promissory contract, it's common, but it's not mandatory. That means that if the client wants to go straight away to deed and take ownership, we can go and do just the offer and reservation, do the due diligence, and book the deed and get the ownership straight away without the promissory contract. However, the normal procedure in Portugal is offer and reservation, promissory contract, and the final deed.
Yeah, it's a very quick and easy process. I know the quickest I had a client that I actually met over in England at a show, and he decided to book to come out on the following, I think it was Tuesday, this was on the Saturday, and he was ready to buy. He was a cash buyer. The vendor, he found his property. When he came over, the vendor was ready to go, and it took 3 weeks from him actually talking to me and booking the flights to getting the keys to his property. It was 3 weeks. So it can be very quick if it needs to be into it. It depends on people's circumstances.
Yeah.
Average about 12 weeks, if
between the offer and reservation and the deed?
Yeah.
Yes. I mean, depends. If it's an off-plan property, we need to wait. If it's something that we need to update on the city council, land registry, it could take more. But the normal.
Yeah, it was just straightforward. Okay. So anyway, Ricardo's details are on the webinar. So please contact him or anybody else, and with any of your questions, and we will answer them. Sometimes it's better to have a one-on-one chat because your questions might be more specific to you. So yeah, thank you very much, Ricardo.
Thank you.
So now Megan's going to tell you how you can make some good money on your investment by renting it out. And also, if you're buying a holiday home and you want to make it pay for itself, how you can do that on the months that you're not here. So, Megan, would you like to introduce yourself?
Hello everyone, I'm Megan. I'm the Head of Rentals and After Sales here at Ideal Homes. I've been with the company for almost 5 years now. I moved to Portugal 5 years ago and I've been working with Ideal Homes ever since. I started off working for Ideal Homes part-time, doing the bookings for our rental properties, and I'm now managing the whole rentals team. So we have a team across the Algarve. We have the office team who manage all of the bookings and inquiries for our rentals properties. And then we have the team on the road. They cover across the whole of the Algarve and look after our guests while they're here on holiday and our property owners.
And what packages do we do? We have different packages, don't we? So can you explain a little bit more about those for us?
Okay, so we cater to everyone's needs. So if you've just bought a property in the Algarve, or if you already own a property and you're looking for somebody to look after it for you or rent it out for you, then we can help. So we have a key ready service. This is for new owners of properties here in the Algarve. This is to get everything set up for you from the time of you planning to purchase right the way through the process of helping you with furniture packages, helping you install internet and TV in your property, right the way through to beginning to either use it yourselves or to rent. So we get everything ready so the property is fully set up ready for you. Then, if you're looking just to use it for your private use and for friends and family, we have the property management package. Now, this is us taking care of the property whilst you're away, because usually our owners, they don't live here in Portugal, so they need somebody to keep an eye on the ground for them whilst they're not here. So if you're living in the UK, for example, and you want somebody to go in and check your post box and to check the property's okay and arrange any maintenance works while you're not there, then that's something we take care of for you.
It's even something simple like flushing the toilets every now and again, isn't it?
Yeah.
Things like that as well that helps it keep it fresh and what have you.
Yeah, running the water, making sure if there's any damp or things like that, which can happen sometimes with older properties, that we help you with that and we get it sorted so that the property's not just sat empty for a year, you know, if you're not going to come over. And if you have friends and family coming over and they need help with shopping, you know, before they arrive, if they're coming on a late flight, that we can go in and get some shopping bits for them, or arrange cleaning before they arrive. So we're there just to look after it for you and hold the keys whilst you're away.
Yeah, it's nice when, because you're the owner of the property, you don't, you know, sometimes you come over and then you're spending the first few days doing the cleaning and getting it right, where you can come into it like you're on holiday. It's a holiday for you, and it's not about having to get all those things sorted once you get there, isn't it?
Yeah, and then even if you don't know any local contacts in the area and you need somebody to go in and do some work for you, then we can advise you on people that we use. So it's about having somebody who's got local knowledge, keys to your property. So if you're not here, then we can sort issues out for you. If you are here, we can give you a helping hand and give you our recommendations of certain companies and things like that, and just be your backup in a way. You know, if you're not familiar with the Algarve, or even if you are but you're not around, then we're there to help you take care of your home and your investment at the end of the day.
And so if I want to rent it out full time, obviously there's a service for that where they don't really have to do much because you do it all.
Yeah, so a lot of our owners do go down the rental route, because here in the Algarve you get really, really good rental returns. So it's one of the best places in Europe for holidays. Everybody comes back year after year. They love it. They love the sunshine, the beaches, the food, the wine, the locals. There's a lot of reasons that people love the Algarve. I mean, we love the Algarve. That's why we live here. But
Definitely.
it's a very, very good place to have a rental investment. But many people that have a rental investment, they don't want anything to do with it. They just want to know about the money at the end of the month. So that's where we come in. You let us take charge of your property. We're the ones responsible for making you the money and also taking care of the home whilst you're not here. So we have the team in the office that do all of your inquiries and bookings and gain that income for you. We do the marketing to try and boost up your revenue and get your visibility out there to lots of different countries across the world and bring guests from all over into your property in the Algarve. We also do your immigration reporting for you. So that is a government requirement here in Portugal. So it's called CEF. And that is collecting the passport information from your guests and submitting it to your accountant, who then reports that to the CEF authorities to be in line with the Portuguese law. So that's a big part of the job as well of the people in the office. We also arrange the cleaning team. So we make sure the cleaners go in, Usually it's just before and after each stay, but if you have a 2-week stay, then the guests get a mid-stay clean as well. So we organise all of the cleaner schedules and make sure that they're on time and at the right properties at the right time. Then we have the team on the office, out of the office, sorry. They're the ones that take care of the guests once they arrive. So the office team get the guests here. Then when the guests arrive, they're passed over to the property managers or the representatives. And those are the people that are in charge of your property. They meet the guests and they show them around the property, answer any questions they have about the house or about the local area, give them suggestions on where to go for dinner, what activities they can do while they're here. And they're their contact here in the Algarve. So if they have any issues during their stay, such as they've had too many drinks and they lock themselves out, then our representative goes out and provides them access to the property. Or if they need help with calling a doctor or something like that, we are their emergency contact. So we're always here so that you don't get the phone calls wherever you are in the world. You know, we're the ones here that take care of that for you and make sure that your guests have a smooth stay and an enjoyable holiday experience.
It is important to clients and to be able to have that
Peace of
service
mind.
where there's someone there for them. They're not just on holiday in a strange place on their own. It's like they can get on and enjoy their holiday without any worry or anything.
Yeah, and if they do need something, they have local people around that can help them. So all of my team across the Algarve, they're local in that area. So we cover right from the border of Spain up until the west coast in Lagos. And the people that manage those properties live in those areas. So they really are fully aware of the area, the best parts, and they're local, so they're able to get out to them within 10 minutes. So if there are ever any problems, we're there, we're on hand. You know, you're not just speaking to somebody down a phone or online. You know, we're actually physically here to help your guests and to make sure that they're okay during their stay.
And because they meet them when they first get here, don't they? They do meet and greet service,
Yeah.
so they get to know them in person straight away, so that they know the calling.
Yeah, we find it very important. That's one of our key values here at Ideal Homes, is to make sure that we have that personal, in-person service. So some companies, you may have found, they don't actually ever meet their guests. They just provide them with an access code and then they're online if they need any help. We don't agree with that here. We make sure that we meet the guests while they're here during their stay, so they have that personal experience, and that's what brings them back for more every year, because they get involved with the people and they know us as a company, they know us as a team, and they like our service and they know they can call us if they have any issues. And they then remember us for next year when they're ready to book their next holiday, and they come back again for us and for the property where they've stayed.
And a good property to buy for a rental investment, would you say 2-bedroom apartment, Lagos, would be your most income?
Yeah, so if you're looking purely for rental investment, at the moment the hottest place to buy is in Lagos, and they have some really, really good deals. Or we have some really good deals at the moment in Lagos, and the rental returns in Lagos, ever since I've been with the company for 5 years, I've seen it grow, and I've seen the guests coming back year after year to Lagos. It's the most popular place all year round for rentals. Don't get me wrong, throughout the whole Algarve, you get rentals really well all year, but Lagos, you get a lot of people coming for the winter, get a lot of retired couples coming over from Canada and places quite far away, and they'll stay for up to a month or two at a time. And they love the west coast. They love the life there. They love the tranquility of it. Yet it's open all year round. So, and the rugged coast there. And the guests are growing in Lagos every year. So the returns are just getting higher and higher and higher. And the spec of apartments down there is absolutely amazing. So if it's an option for you to look at the apartments in Lagos, it's a really good investment. And our clients that own properties in Lagos who rent with us are always very happy.
And if you can get return clients, it's always better, isn't it? Because you build up your weeks. You haven't got to focus on as many people. If you've got your weeks being filled by your clients from the year before, you've got less weeks to focus on filling.
Yeah, I mean, for example, the apartments in Lagos, we have guests who book more than a year in advance, because even a lot of them, they're at the property and then they're already saying to our representative in that area, can we please book for next year, to make sure that we get it booked, because they know how popular it is. Because a lot of them, you know, if they leave it too late, they won't be able to book it. So they book a year in advance because they're happy with our service, they're happy with the property, and they want to guarantee their space for next year. And it's lovely for us having return guests. So being here 5 years, I'm friends with some of the clients we have now, because they know me. They call me and say, oh, we're coming back to Lagos, or we're coming back to Vera or Villa Sol, anywhere, any of the places we have our properties, and they say, you know, can we come again? Can you book us in now so that we can guarantee that we're there? And And it's lovely to build up that relationship, not only with our owners, who I have great relationships with those, but also with our guests who choose us time and time again because of our service and because of our lovely properties that we have.
Brilliant, thank you. So if anybody wants to know more about rentals, please contact Megan. Megan's details are on the screen. So give us a call, email, and we'll help you answer more questions for you and see if we can get you set up on a good investment. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, my name is Louise. Imont Legal Services is a law firm specialised in providing legal assistance to clients buying or selling properties anywhere in Spain. Our team includes several lawyers, accountants and legal assistants. Our lawyers are members of the Bar Association of Murcia and Cartagena, and our services are listed as recommended by the British Consulate.
Where are you based?
Our main office is located in San Javier, Murcia, but we also have offices in La Tenia, Costa Blanca South, Finestrat, Costa Blanca North, and in Madrid.
What services do you provide?
We provide many legal and fiscal services such as conveyancing, golden visa, wills, litigation, tourist licenses, residency, helping you set up your business, taxes, and accountancy.
What is the process?
The conveyancing process will depend on if you are buying a new or a resale property, but there are some similarities. After choosing your property, you will be asked to pay a deposit and sign a reservation agreement. Your solicitor will then do all the relevant legal searches to make sure your property is legal and debt-free. The next step is to sign a private purchase contract that will include the main conditions of the agreement between vendor and buyer, such as price, payment, and completion date. We also recommend our clients to sign power of attorney, allowing your solicitor to get your NIE and assist you on your completion without you having to travel to Spain. On completion, this will take place at a public notary, which the first payment of the property will be made and deeds will be granted, making you the legal owner of the property. After completion, your deeds will be registered at the public register of the area where your property is located, and your lawyer will also set up all your direct debits for your utilities.
How long will the process take, and what can a client do to ensure a smooth transaction?
If you're buying a resale property, it can take between 8 to 10 weeks, and if you're buying an off-plan property, it can take several months, and even a year or more, depending on the construction process. To ensure a smooth transaction, it is very important to make sure all relevant points agreed with the vendor are included in the private purchase contract. This is something your solicitor can take care of for you.
What are the costs involved?
The costs will depend if the property is new or resale and what area you're buying in. For a resale, the transaction tax is 8% in Murcia and 10% in the Costa Blanca. For a new property, you will need to pay 10% VAT of the purchase price plus stamp duty, which is 1.5% in Costa Blanca and 2% in the Murcia region. The other additional costs are the same for any type of property. Notary fees are normally between €700 and €1,200, land registry between €600 and €900, management between €400 and €500, and legal fees, which are normally 1% of the purchase price and a minimum of €1,500 plus VAT.
Is it safe to buy in Spain?
Yes, it is completely safe to buy in Spain. Just make sure that you are represented by a law firm that is certified by the Bar Association.
What impact will Brexit have?
If you're buying a holiday home in Spain, there is no difference in buying a property now or after Brexit, as Spain has no restrictions of any nationality to purchase a property in Spain.
Residencia.
Who needs to do this and why?
This is for everybody that wants to live in Spain and is going to be in the country for more than 3 months in a period of 6 and more than 183 days in a year.
What is the process?
The process is really simple, but it is changing and adapting to the new situation created by Brexit. Until December 2020, Brits interested in getting residency will need to prepare some documents, which your lawyer, thanks to an agreement between Immigration Department and the Bar Association, will be able to upload to the police system. The documentation has been approved and we will ask for the appointment so you can get fingerprints done.
How long does it take?
Unfortunately, we cannot give an exact time as the documentation has to be approved, and at this moment there is a high demand.
What costs are involved?
Imont has a small charge of €120 per person to apply for the residency, and there is also a small tax fee.
Golden Visa. Pregunta 1. What is the Golden Visa?
The Golden Visa, also commonly known as Investor Visa, was first introduced in Spain in 2013, allowing citizens from the non-EU country and their families to live and work in Spain by showing a significant capital investment in the country. This capital investment in Spain can be done through 6 different ways, being the most relevant the purchase of a property for the amount of €500,000 or more. It can be any type of property, home, commercial, land, or a combination of properties, but this is essential that it is bought without a bank loan or mortgage.
Who is it for?
The Golden Visa is for the investor and the following family members, such as spouse or legal partner, children under 18, children over 18 who are financially dependent on the investor and have not created their own family, and dependent relatives in the ascending line. In any case, in addition to the investment, the following requirements must be met by the applicant. not to be found illegal in Spanish territory, to have no criminal record in Spain and in the countries where he has lived during the last 5 years. He has private health insurance policy taken out with an insurance company authorised to operate in Spain, and to prove having enough economy resources for themselves and their family members during the period of residency in Spain.
What is the procedure to obtain one, and if it is straightforward?
If the applicant that already owns the property and meets the other requirements is outside of Spain, the process will begin with the application for an investor's visa in the Spanish consulate in the country of origin. This visa has a duration of 1 year, during which the investor and his family can come to Spain and apply for a 2-year residency permit. There is also the possibility of applying for a 2-year residency permit without the need to apply previously for an investor's visa, if the applicant is legally in Spain at the time of filling in the application. The law also allows the investor to come to Spain with a tourist visa before buying a property, and once the private purchase agreement is signed and the funds deposited, he can apply for the Golden Visa, and if needed, the authorities can grant the investor a permit of 6 months to complete the process of buying. The application may be made through a legal representative, and the resolution period is 20 days from the application. In any case, once the residency permit has been obtained, the investor and his family must apply in person for the foreign identification card. The 2-year residency permit can be renewed for periods up for 5 years. Thank you for your time, and we really hope this information was useful for you. And if you need any further information, please contact us. At Imont Legal Services, all our lawyers are members of the Bar Association of Murcia and Cartagena. We are experts in real estate law, and more than 5,000 satisfied clients over 16 years support us.
Okay, so now we're going to look at rentals and rental options. A lot of people, when they first come over to the Costa Blanca, maybe have a set budget in mind, and to actually rent the property out can not only help them increase their budget, but can also take care of maybe some overheads so that the property can run for itself, and maybe cover its own face. Now, there's a few tricks when thinking about renting a property in the Costa Blanca, or anywhere for that matter. And a lot of the time you'll find, as the saying goes, it's about location, location, location. Sorry for the cheese, but it's very, very true. Where your property is situated and what's around is very, very important when it comes to actually renting a property out here. Not only for the services and the amenities such as shops, bars, restaurants, aqua parks, and maybe play centres for the kids, but also features such as how far is it away from the airport. Nobody really wants to be driving from the airport for 2.5 or 3 hours to actually get to their rental property. Also, you have to make sure that the property is presentable and it's marketable. There has been many a time when I've actually seen a property stay on Airbnb for a matter of years because of the photos taken. They haven't really done the property justice, and for that reason it's been very, very difficult for clients to actually rent their property out. So you have to make sure that the photographs that you're actually taking to market the property are done by a professional. The property is modern, clean, and is presentable. That is the main thing. If you can imagine scrolling through numerous websites, all you're doing is fact checking, price checking. It's going to be the presentable properties that will stick out to you. So properties here can be rented very, very easily by non-residents and residents alike. It's a very, very simplified process here, so I wouldn't worry about how to do it. If you are wanting to do it yourself, I do have quite a detailed explanation on YouTube which goes into what to look out for, how to market the property, and how much you can expect to make within any given year, as long as there's no unforeseen global pandemics involved. So, with pushing that aside, let's have a look at a rental property. So it could be a fantastic situation for you as a property owner wanting to cover the majority of your overheads. We have a client who literally rents for 8 weeks during the summer season, and that takes care of her mortgage repayments for the whole year. So it's fantastic for anyone wanting to maybe extend their budget just that little bit more so that they can get the property of their dreams. It could be you too, so look at the option. It could be beneficial. Let's have a look at another rental option and see what you think. I hope you've enjoyed looking at the properties I've selected for you today. If anyone is wondering what is achievable and maybe how much they would need to pay and what type of yield and return on investment they can expect, please contact me on a one-to-one basis and I'll be more than happy to go through the numbers with you and see if it's a viable option for you. See you soon.
So that wraps up day 2, and I hope again you've got some good information out of there. A lot on the Golden Visa, rental's very interesting, lots of income to make, and so tomorrow we're going to cover some really good deals, and we hope that you'll tune in last day, so don't miss it, and we'll see you tomorrow. Thank you.